Matriarchs, the podcast where we have real, honest conversations to help teen girls and young women navigate life with confidence. I'm Mama T, and today we're tackling a topic that I am fiercely passionate about, finding your voice. I think today's episode is so important because throughout my teen years and early 20s, I didn't realize that I not only had a voice, but God gave me a voice that He didn't want me to waste. And when we find the voice that God gave us as part of His purpose for us, we can use that voice in a powerful way. And this is a topic that I'm so passionate about because our voice and our purpose in life go hand in hand with each other. And we all were put on this earth for a purpose. So we have to seek out our purpose just like we have to seek out finding our voice. So we hope to help you do that today, to help you find your voice.
That's right, girls. The way you speak up, express who you are, and stand for what you believe is what we mean by finding your voice. Finding your voice is not just about volume, it's about value. Finding your voice means knowing who you are, what you believe, and being brave enough to say it out loud.
Exactly. And a lot of girls never find their voice, or they may begin to find it, but then they lose it. And this happens because of people pleasing, the fear of judgment, trauma, comparison. There's so many reasons this happens. But if you don't find and use your voice, someone else will write your story for you.
Yeah. So let's talk about how you can find your voice. Growing your confidence will help you find your voice. And the best way to do that is through reading and learning new skills.
Exactly. There's so many ways that you can find your voice, but another way is like journaling your truth. So if you just start journaling and writing down your thoughts and what you're passionate about, over time, as you start to journal, it really helps you find your voice.
I agree with that. And we also need to practice saying no. Saying no can be so hard. Sometimes, especially for me, I don't know what it is, but learning that and learning boundaries and how to set them are so important because no is a complete sentence. You can say no when it comes to certain things.
Yeah. And I think, I agree with you because I think once you start setting your boundaries, it does give you confidence. And then when you get that confidence, you start to realize that you do have a voice. And I feel like confidence and finding your voice kind of go hand in hand. And I know we've, in a previous episode, we talked about how learning new skills builds your confidence. Well, it's the same, for finding your voice. Those new skills that grow your confidence kind of help. So get out of your comfort zone and just try something new, whether, just about anything. But I would recommend like a public speaking class because I was terrified of ever like talking in front of people. And then I was forced to take a public speaking class in college. And by the end of it, I was so much more comfortable. And everyone that I talked to that did that says the same thing. So, it definitely puts a lot of people out of their comfort zone to do something like that. But it really is such a valuable resource. And even if you don't have an option for public speaking classes, they offer them on YouTube. I recommend you just check that out.
Yeah, I love that. And we also can, listen to our inner voice or our gut feeling and then just trust yourself. If you make mistakes, even with the gut feeling, sometimes and we talked about this some with Erica, like I have gut feelings sometimes, but then I'm wondering like, is that just anxiety or is that like, am I truly feeling that is what I should do or whatever? But, and if you do something wrong, just learn from that mistake and get back up and try again.
And I think that's how we really learn to follow our gut, a little bit is, just making decisions like that based on what your gut is telling you and then learn from those mistakes if that was wrong, Right. So it helps in that situation as well. But I think a lot of times our gut is right. And by gut, I mean just that internal like voice or feeling of something is right or wrong. I think most of the time it is telling us for a reason. So I think too, finding your voice goes back to like speaking up for yourself, obviously. that's a major component. But
Yeah.
we need to speak up for ourselves for a lot of reasons. But, you know, one of the reasons is you teach people how to treat you and what you're going to allow. And that is so important for a lot of reasons. Yeah. But I think it's a huge component of finding your voice for sure. So.
Yeah, because if you let someone walk all over you one time, then they're going to continue to do it, you know, over and over again. And it's not selfish to protect that. It's, you know, it's healthy and it helps you grow to be a better person, I think.
Yeah, I agree. And then, you know, it just contributes to like self-respect as well, which goes back to building your confidence. So
yes. Yeah, which is so important. To start speaking up for yourself, you just need to know your limits. What are you passionate about? What are you, what things would you do? What things would you not do? And then let that be known.
Yeah, just let people know what your limits are.
Yeah.
And then I think it's important too to just, you know, let people know, like use those I statements, which is like, I'm not okay with that, or I need a break, or, you know, just let people know what you need, which isn't always easy. I've held it that miserably throughout my life, but I'm learning how important it is. So
yes, I agree. And saying no and sticking up for yourself. If they ask you to do something you're not comfortable with, then just remember that no is a complete sentence and you can stand up for yourself. And if someone asks you to do something that's uncomfortable, then you can say no.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, it's interesting because if you struggle with that in the past and then you're starting to like grow as a person and you're starting to have boundaries and you're starting to say no and speak up for yourself, it doesn't always go over very well with people and it can be extremely uncomfortable, but you just have to stay strong in your convictions and what you know is important for you. And no matter how uncomfortable it is for someone else, which in turn makes you uncomfortable, you have to just keep reminding yourself, like, this is a part of my growth. This is a part of me having a voice, and you stay firm. And, you know, you're going to find that you're going to allow people to break your boundaries and then learn from that and then learn a new way to hold them accountable to what your boundaries are. It's huge. And I'm still working on that myself personally. So.
It's easier said than done, right? It's hard to draw those boundaries and then stick to them at times, especially if it's like a close friend or maybe even a relative, or, you know, anyone can ask you to do something that you don't feel comfortable with. So it is hard sometimes, but you don't have to justify your boundaries. If you know something is wrong and you don't feel comfortable doing it, then find that voice and stick up for yourself.
Yeah. And, you know, what I've learned too over the years is finding your voice doesn't always mean you have to say a lot. You know, like you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to justify it to someone else. Sometimes less is more. And right now I'm reading this book by Jefferson Fisher. I found him on Instagram. And if you're on Instagram, I don't care how old you are, everybody could benefit from Jefferson Fisher's like wisdom and insight. So he's actually a trial attorney, which I think is so interesting. But he started recording these little clips in his car before he went into work every morning. And he teaches you how to find your voice, how to use your voice, how to like communicate, how to become a better communicator, how to deal with difficult people, like how to bring down a very intense conversation, or, you know, and I highly recommend you guys go find him on Instagram and follow him and listen to his daily words of wisdom, because he's teaching me so much about how to communicate and how to communicate with difficult people and how to like, I don't know. I feel like what he's teaching goes so hand in hand with what we're teaching on finding your voice and using your voice. He's definitely one of the best that's teaching it right now. So, and he's just very likable. Like he's very calm. He has this very calm disposition. He talks a lot slower. He just like, I don't know. I think whether you're 10 or 110, you could benefit from what Jefferson has to say.
I love that.
I just think he's He's so wise. So we're going to jump into the fun segment, which we haven't had for a couple episodes because we've had so many wonderful guests on that we've just wanted to kind of keep that conversation going. But so for our fun segment today, we are going to give you a sneak peek into a couple of products that we're going to have in our new giveaway, which is our mystery box giveaway. Yay. So Meg, do you want to tell them more about the mystery box giveaway before I give them a little sneak peek?
Yes. So we made a post a couple days ago. So we will have a mystery box. So we're going to share a couple things, but we also asked for you to comment, and I'll post again on social media, but to comment what you would like to see in the mystery box. And that's one entry. And then if you tag a friend, that's one entry. And then 5 entries if you leave us a review on any of our podcasting platforms. So we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. So if you can just give us a review on any of those platforms, you get 5 entries to win this mystery box. Yes. So I'm so excited to see what's in it.
I know. So our mystery box giveaway is going to be worth what, about $75?
Yes.
Yeah. So we're just going to have a lot of fun things, fun products, not fun things, but fun products in our mystery box. So I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek into two of the things that we're going to put in there. So our first one are some really cute earrings from Altered State. They're just fun and colorful and bright for spring and summer. And then one of our other items is our raspberry rose shortbread cookie from the new Kate Spade collection that just released at Target. So those are just little sneak peeks. There's some other things in there that are even like super great and exciting, but we didn't want to give too much away. So in addition to the ways that Meg mentioned entering into the mystery box giveaway, you can also get an entry by sending us a DM or email and tell us something that you wish that you had the courage to say out loud. So we are going to end up sharing 2 to 3 anonymous submissions, so we won't say who they're from our listeners next week on our social media platform. So if you share that one thing that you wish you had the courage to say out loud, you'll get another entry into our mystery box. So we're going to announce our winner on Memorial Day, which will be awesome. And trust me, you are not going to want to miss this mystery box giveaway because it's got some really, really good stuff in it. But
I'm excited to see who wins it. Yeah. All right. So that's all for today. Just remember, your voice is your superpower. Your voice is valuable and your feelings are valid. Don't let the world mute it. Use it to inspire, to set boundaries, to change your life, and maybe even the world. Remember, the world needs what only you can say. Speak it loud, speak it proud, speak it with love, and see you next time on the Matriarchs.